Welcome. You are listening to The Decision Hour. I'm Adam, and with me, I think she's here, is Patty. Patty.
Adam. Hello.
And how are you today?
Oh my gosh. I'm doing really good.
Yes.
Just, we're talking about April Fools today. We're just jumping right into this today.
Let's jump right in. For the love of
Yeah.
everything holy, let's just jump right into today's show. April Fool's pranks, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, so do you know anything about April Fools?
Well,
Like, how did it start or anything like that?
Yeah, so I did a little bit of research, and on
Okay.
the History Channel, it talks about historians speculate that April Fools dates back to 1582, when France switched from the Julian calendar over to the Georgian calendar. And when that happened, people were really slow to get the news about the date change. And so it just kind of escalated from there. So basically, people started kind of playing pranks and about the date. And it definitely escalated to the year 2019. It's a lot different than it was back then. In 1582, they just kind of started messing around about the date. Now we just mess around about everything, don't we? Like on April Fools, everything is a joke.
Pretty much, yep. Everything seems to be that. Have you ever done a prank on anybody on April Fool's Day?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? So you all know that I went to a private school and there wasn't a lot to do back when I went to that school. So we pranked each other a lot. And it was a really fun time when some of my friends and I would go and we would TP our teachers' houses on April Fools. We'd help them clean it up. It was just really funny to see their expression, but that's kind of where I remember it starting. And then little things like one of my friends, she's like, did you know that if you open up the shower head and put tea bags inside of it, that when you turn the water on, it'll be brown when it comes out. So that was another thing. And Adam, stop.
I haven't said anything. I'm trying to think of April Fool's pranks, but I didn't now that I'm hearing you say what you said, I'm really boring when it comes to April Fool's stuff. We haven't really done anything.
Really?
No, I mean, it was just like you'll tell, like, whether my kid, like, hey, we're going here or there after school today or something. Oh yeah. And then when that after school happens, oh yeah, April Fools. We're not doing that.
That's
just that's I guess they're not really pranks. Mine are just like, that's cold-hearted.
Oh man. Well, one year, it was the year that Ken was injured in 2008, or 2007. So 2008 May, fast forward. And we were all burned out. Like the kids were burned out. I was burned out as far as going to doctor's appointments and hospitals and all this stuff. So April Fools rolls around and we decide to prank the kids. So in the middle of the night, we put dental floss up over their doors so when they walk, and like saran wrap over their doors so when they wake up in the morning, they walk right into the saran wrap. And then once they get past that, we have wood floors, and we dumped Murphy's oil soap in front of their door so they're stepping in it. I mean, we were vicious, but it was so fun. And the kids, you could hear them oh my goodness, what is this? And then they try to get us back. And so that was 2008 was probably our craziest April Fool's Day, for sure.
I'm trying to think. I remember at work, I think I was 16, 17 years old. And I had this Geo Metro for a car, this little Cracker Jack box on wheels. And with 5 people, you could pick this car up and basically move it. Well, one of my first jobs, I worked at Burger King. True story. And I came out one night, it was 2 a.m. because I had to close. And my car, they had wrapped my car in saran wrap. The entire car in saran wrap, and then moved it where I had parked it, but then they had picked it up and shifted it so it wasn't in its parking spot where it was.
Oh
originally.
man.
So it took me 2 hours to get all the saran wrap off because they went through like 3 or 4 rolls of saran wrap. I mean, it was everywhere.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was horrible. Another one that I did, I don't know if it wasn't necessarily a prank because it was actually the truth, but I quit my corporate job on April Fool's.
Yeah. Can you explain that to our listeners? Because I know this story, but some of
So I had walked in. I'd been working at this. I'm not going to say the company's name, but I walked into the company. I've never quit a job before. I walked in. I'd been working there for a little over a year, and I just got tired of all the rigmarole. And I was doing my job plus my manager's job, and whatnot. There was no room for advance. I was just getting sick of everything. So I walked in on April Fool's, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna quit. I had it all planned out. I walked in 20 minutes late. They didn't care. Basically, it was a job that I could get away with just about anything, which I also didn't respect. Another reason why I left. I walked in, I packed up all my stuff, and acted like I made a couple of phone calls or whatever. And I took my stuff and I left. And everybody started laughing. They're like, Bird's at it again, blah, 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 blah. That's funny, yada, yada, yada. Like 20 minutes go by. I'm already I'm driving home. I'm like a quarter of the way home. And my manager calls. He says, hey, man, where'd you go? And I was like, I quit. And he's all like, he starts laughing. He's like, dude, that's a good one. He's like, but seriously, when are you coming back? And I was like, joke's on you. I actually quit. And I hung up the phone. And that was it. And that was on April Fool's. So,
Man.
yeah.
Woo. What about those people who break up with their significant other on April Fool's?
You know what? If you break up with somebody on April Fool's, whether it's a joke or not, that's just like you're playing. I look at it like this: like if you're planning to say, "Hey, I'm gonna break up with her" as a joke, like it's April Fool's, it's gonna be a joke. Like this could totally backfire. Like you're playing like this, you got a 50-50 chance that this is actually, she might think that this, there's nothing remotely funny about it, I guess, when you're the one being pranked. But it's like one of those like, all right, cool. Well, it wasn't working out anyway. Like that could totally backfire on you. Like you're like, hey, I don't think we should see each other. I think we should see other people. Blah blah. blah. And if they come back and say, you know what, I totally agree. I'm glad you brought that to her. I would have like, whoa, wait a minute, I was just kidding. Well, no, I'm serious. Like all of a sudden you're like, now all of a sudden it's not so funny, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
So I'm looking on this website of hilarious pranks. It says, and this is a really funny idea. They took onions and they peeled the onions and then they put a carameled apple stick in it and then they dipped it in caramel. So if it looks like a caramel apple, but it's really a carameled onion. So that's kind of a good joke. That looks legit.
That's a good one. We did 1 year. We took those like little sticky notes that you get, like all the yellow sticky notes, and we plastered the senior director's office, like all of his desk, his entire computer screen, the entire wall. There's over like 3,000 Post-its in his office. He walked in, turned the light on, and it was just nothing but yellow, just a sea of yellow. You couldn't see anything but these sticky notes. It was hilarious.
Oh man. I'm looking at this one and it's a lady, she works in an office and she took the air freshener can and replaced it. She took the label off of the air freshener can and put the label on shrimp scent for saltwater fishing. She put the label on a shrimp scent bottle. So when they sprayed the office, it sprayed and smelled like nasty shrimp.
That's horrible.
I know. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. These people put a fake snake in the lettuce at Walmart.
Nah.
Like its little heads peeking out of the lettuce.
What about the Jell-O? Like putting like their Jell-O stuff. Like this was actually on The Office. I don't know if anybody watched that TV show, but the Jell-O, like take like their stapler or some of their like desks and stuff, like a keyboard or your mouse, and put it in Jell-O.
Oh man. Oh my gosh, somebody took the top off of a keyboard and they planted little seeds in the keyboard so that um, these little sprouts started growing out of the keyboard of this lady. I don't know how well that would actually work. I mean, it says it works, but I'm looking at my keyboard right now. That might be not a good one.
But
It
here's
ruined
one.
the
Here's
keyboard.
one that I am actually tempted to try. Make your own Oreos taste minty fresh. So you go in and you scrape out all of the cream filled Oreo, and then you put toothpaste and then put
Oh,
it back together.
oh my goodness. Oh, that would work. Same thing with donuts. I've heard you squeeze the cream out of the donuts, or if you make your own donuts, you can put things like toothpaste or shampoo or whatever in the middle.
Shampoo. Wait a minute. Wait,
Mm-hmm,
shampoo. Gee,
mm-hmm,
Patty went there. Okay, don't piss her off, folks. Good God. 'Cause yeah,
mm-hmm.
we put it's a shampoo edible. Don't worry about it. We got it. God, I was thinking like mayonnaise or like horseradish sauce or something like that. You went right to shampoo. Yeah. What about
horseradish is bad?
yeah, horseradish is just as bad. Here's one that gives their hand a surprise lubricate. You get like the germ, like the what do you call it? The free like what am I trying to say? The like it's not the lotion, but it's like the
Hand sanitizer?
Thank you. That's what I'm thinking. You exchange all of that and put like lubricating jelly or something in there.
Who's gonna go get the lubricating jelly? I don't even know about this, Adam.
You're such a liar. I wish you all could see her face right now.
Okay, so moving on. Here's one. Here's a good one. This is perfect. This one okay, actually, this is a good idea. I might do this to somebody this year. Start a contest, and you tell people that they call and then a certain phone number. So I'm going to say, like, call Adam's phone number and leave a voicemail with your best Chewbacca impression. Winners will be judged, and then winners will be judged on April 12th. $50 reward. That's a good one. You can have people calling a certain number and leaving Chewbacca imitations on the voicemail.
That would be hilarious.
I like that one. That's my favorite one so far. Oh boy.
What else do we got?
Balloons.
Balloons is another one. I've actually seen the balloon prank in full effect at a job that I worked at, one of the corporate jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Small office, and it's great if it's a small office because then it doesn't require too much hot air. I get it, hot air balloon.
Oh boy, dun dun dun.
Hey-o. Okay.
Somebody put a bowl of M&M's, Skittles, and Reese's Pieces all together in the break room. That's kind of annoying. Because if you're going for an M&M and you pick up a Skittles, or vice versa.
Here's one that I always like. Anything that that you use a whoopee cushion with. Kind of old school that way. Like, you can't beat a classic whoopee cushion joke.
And I think they sell those at dollar stores still.
They do. I think.
Here's somebody who took a bunch of hot dogs and hung them up with fishing lure all over somebody's dorm room. Like, there's 200 hot dogs strung up around this person's room. Oh man, people are crazy. I'm looking at some of this stuff. Oh my goodness.
Put a note on somebody's car that says, quote, "Sorry about the damage, I had to leave," end quote, and watch them look all over for the non-existing damage.
Oh man.
That's messed up.
Here's one, and it reminds me of something that I did, and it was, oh my gosh, this was probably the funniest thing that I can think of that ever happened. So those of you who know me might know that Ken was a police officer. Ken is my husband, was a police officer in Michigan. He used to work third shifts and he was gone a lot, most of the time at nights. And one night I knew he was going to be coming home because he had to grab something out of the fridge. And he had bought as a joke, or I did, I don't even remember where this thing came from, actually, thinking about it, a mannequin head. And we kind of forgot about it until this night. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get the mannequin head out. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. We live in the middle of 30 acres, right? We lived in cornfields and we had like, it was all country areas where we were at. So I took the mannequin head and I went outside on the front porch and I propped it up. I like made it look like a person out there standing at our front porch. So he's driving down our driveway. It's like a quarter of a mile long. And as he's coming up the driveway, he can see someone at 2 o'clock in the morning standing there on our front porch.
God, you are so not right.
And it's not moving, right? So it's just standing there. Like, and it was really creepy looking. It had this crazy makeup and the hair had been all chopped up weird because it was like a beautician's mannequin head or whatever that they used to work on. And he gets up to the house and I'm hiding like in behind the front door. I'm hiding where I can still hear him. I like have my head up to the door and I hear him go, "Hey." And then I didn't hear anything. And he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's like talking to this mannequin. And the whole time I'm like cracking up. And the next thing you know, I heard like something hit the ground. It was like the mannequin head started rolling on the ground. So he hit it. And so I was like dying laughing. And he's like, "You could have got shot." Because I was behind the door. I didn't even think about that, right? He wouldn't have, he's like, "I couldn't shoot it anyways because it wasn't doing anything. It was just staring." So that was good. And after that, that mannequin had made its rounds like in the police department. It ended up in like one officer's locker. So he opens up the locker and the head's staring at him. Ended up in showers, and I don't even know where it is these days. Who knows who has it now? One of those guys has it.
God, that's crazy. I'm picturing, because I know Ken, so it's like I'm picturing him like doing that. It's just funny picturing it too. Mm-hmm. Oh. Here's another one. Bring a totally normal box of donuts or other delicious treats into work. Leave it out with a sign that says April Fools, and then watch everyone try to figure out what you did to the donuts.
Man. Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
There's a kind of a lot of things you can do with food, if you think about it.
Here's one, and this will be my last one here. And it was April Fool's / birthday gift that I got from my sister. Little shit. She sent me this big jar of peanut butter, and she said there's $10 worth of quarters in this big brand new jar of peanut butter, never used. She sat there and shoved $10 worth of quarters in the peanut butter jar. It took me...
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it took me about 3 or 4 days to get it out. And I told her she gypped me that I was like, there's only $9.75 in there.
That's a good one.
My sister's kind of a prankster. She likes to send all kinds of different stuff to people. You get like something random in the mail and it'll have somebody else's name on it or whatever, and then she'll be like, "Hey, did you get anything in the mail today?" "Yeah, dumbass, I got something. I got your gift. Haha, real funny."
Oh, my son did get me a couple years ago by it's just the simplest trick. You put the rubber band around the faucet in the kitchen, the little nozzle that you spray. So I go to turn the water on and I get sprayed. Like that one. And then you get mad and then you're like, "Oh, it's really not funny." And then everybody else is laughing and I'm like, shut up. Shush. Quiet.
Oh, so folks, Patty, we're coming up on time, but
yes,
if you are listening to this, make sure you follow us on social media. You can find the Decision Hour on Facebook and Instagram. And we're slowly building the Instagram page, so bear with us, but we're getting that down. You could definitely follow us on Facebook. We always post the shows there. And leave a comment under it and let us know what are some of your favorite April Fool pranks that you've either played on someone or ones that you've had done to you. So also, before we let you go, we need to give a huge thanks to Heroes Media Group, our home network. Go over there, check them out. They got some new stuff coming on over there. Simply go to www.heroesmediagroup.com. Patty, am I missing anything?
No, but just one more thing.
Yeah.
If you get a container of Play-Doh, you can roll it out, cut it into little pieces like gum, and take the gum wrappers from like Orbit and wrap it around the Play-Doh instead of the gum.
You are not
And enjoy.
right.
Have a great week, you guys. Have fun.
God. For Patty, I'm Adam. Until next time, you've been listening to The Decision Hour.